Hello, I'm Tim, and this is Blame the Dice Wargaming. Today we're going to be looking at these. These are the B2 Super Battle Droid expansion for Star Wars Legion for the Separatists. And today we're going to get into the box, have a look at what they look like, look at what comes with them, and look at what they look like assembled, and just talk about how they might be used in the game. We'll see you in just a second.
So let's get into the box. FFG always do make things look very nice, so sometimes I feel a bit guilty ripping into these, so I try to be as careful as I can. I've seen some people do some excellent thing where they save the box artwork to essentially create a amazing kind of collage, or just kind of like a table piece with all the nice artwork you get on it, because it's very impressive looking. Excellent. Right then, let's have a look what you get inside. Okay, no time to be cautious, let's just get it all out. Okay then, so let's get rid of the stuff that we're not that interested in. Okay, so you've got your standard new rules, if there are any for this unit. You've got your instructions, suitably detailed. Looks like there's a couple of options for how we'll be putting these together. Yeah, content list, fine, all good. We've got our cardboard and we've got our cards, which we'll come back to in just a moment. So first of all, let's have a look at the units. Let me just see if I can get this up here for you so you can see it nice and detailed. So, they look very, very cartoony on first inspection. There's not a lot of detail on them. But I suspect that's because we're just looking here at the chest pieces and they need to have backing plates in the arms. Ah, here we go. Here's the backing plates. But yeah, they look very neat and tidy on the sprues. I don't think we're going to be having to do a lot to get those looking great for the table. Let's look at the other side. Let me move this out of the way for clarity. So some more bodies. Looks like there's some replication of stances. Lots of detail in the arms. Looks like you can make out kind of the fist shapes there and all the servos. Lots of interchangeable arms and units. And more of the backing pieces and bodies. Okay then, so it looks like there's going to be quite a lot in here to work with. Let's check them out. Fully made up. So the B2 Super Battle Droid. These are a 3-unit squad, so there's only 3 models per squad standard. They've got 2 health and 2 courage, so these ones are going to be able to take a bit more of a battering before you start taking models off the table, and also shouldn't start running away that quickly. They move at the standard 2 speed, which is good, because they always appear to be very slow in the films and the Clone Wars, so I was glad to see that. Their standard attack is range 1 to 2, so these ones are going to appeal to your much more skirmish, getting up close and in somebody's face kind of attack with a black and a white. So not bad. And unarmed, they've got a single black dice. In terms of what they come with, they can be upgraded with a heavy weapon, a standard additional trooper, and a comms unit. We'll explore those in a second. For 48 points, it means that these individual battle droids are actually going to be very expensive. That works out at 16 points per model. So I suspect we won't be having too many of these on the table, but for that we must be expecting some punch. And I think this is what we're going to, where those points are being invested. Armour 1, so when defending, cancel up to 1 hit result. So this means that these units are going to have a natural ability to cancel hits every time they get one. And that's before you're talking about dodge tokens, that's before you're talking about cover. Or maybe it's not, but either way, you're going to be rolling against, you're going to be defending against attack dice. That's first got to get past cover, that's got to get past a dodge token, and then you've got to get past the armour. So realistically, these guys could be surviving a long time on the table. Drawbacks, heavy point cost, but they've got the AI attack, just like the previous droids, which, just to remind you, which is unless you've got the face border token, so unless that is that side up, your first action must be to attack if able. So they do have a bit of a limitation, and I think with having a white dice in there, you'd probably want to be able to get them to aim attack if possible. But because they're range 1 to 2, I think you might find you're going to have decisions aren't going to be made for you as regularly, because it's less likely you will be in range range 2 of somebody, unless you've intended to put yourself there, and maybe you would be giving those guys an order. So I'll just put that to one side. So here is the first upgrade card that you get with them. That's your standard additional Super Battle Droid, so that just fills up the slot here on the left hand side. So essentially you can spend yourself a couple of points to get yourself an extra unit. Now, in addition to that, you could spend yourself 32 points to get yourself the B2 Hcm Trooper, and you will add one of these units to your squad. This weapon has blast, so it ignores cover. It has cycle, which is a new and exciting keyword, which essentially means at the end of the activation, if you didn't fire the weapon, because you'll notice it is something you've got to recover. If you didn't fire the weapon, it will automatically ready itself. So that means, let's just say turn 1 you did use it and you fired. Turn 2 you're off moving somewhere into cover or to go and track down another enemy unit. That will automatically recycle, so you'll get to use this. And then, just to make it even more exciting, Impact 2. And if you notice, you've got 2 red dice, so you're gonna get that Impact 2. The white dice is gonna be hit or miss, but we've got range 2 to 3, so a little bit at odds with the guns that they've got, which are only 1 to 2. So bear in mind, you might find you are in range 3 and this gun is having to attack, which might not be good because of the AI attack keyword I drew your attention to before, but certainly a very interesting gun. 32 points though is very expensive for what you're getting. However, there is a cheaper option. Here we have the B2 Acm Trooper. Now, this one, surprisingly, considering it is quite a number of points cheaper at 26 points versus the 32, is 3 red dice. That is brilliant. Red dice are almost certainly hitting, so the chance of you getting 3 hits are high. This doesn't have anything fancy like blast or cycle or impact, so it's a weapon you'll be able to fire turn after turn, and it's the same range as the other ones, so it might be a very smart choice. But at 3 red dice, I really fancy the look of that. So what we'll do, we're going to take a look at some of the other cards that come with this, and then we'll move on to looking at the troopers. So additional cards that come with this are your comms upgrade, which is what this is here for those who aren't sure, and essentially that means that during the command phase you can be issued orders by friendly commanders or operatives at range 1 to 4. So essentially it just extends your ability to have orders passed to you, which is good considering that AI attack means you want to have orders, so it gives you a bit of a range. And for 3 points, not a massive investment. However, these are already quite a costly unit, so you're pushing it past 50 points just to have that with you. And then next, but speaking of points which go in the comm slot, here is a 10-point upgrade. Now, we'll be very familiar with this. This is cropped up lots and lots of times. HQ uplink, another exhaustible upgrade, which is what the arrow means there. So essentially, during the issue order steps of the command phase, you can issue yourself an order. So let's just presume you've issued out 3 orders to anyone else on the table. You can spend this card, so we'll flip it sideways for sake of clarity, and give yourself a face of order token. Now you can refresh that, so you can get it back again, but that is 10 points, and you've got to think about this. You will be spending an action every time you want to refresh. So we'll have to see how often we want to do that. And you get a few other things that you get in the box. You get your suppression tokens. You're going to get 4 surge tokens. You can get yourself some hit tokens, or damage tokens rather. Standby, dodge, and your aim. Nothing out of the ordinary there. So let's have a look at the models. So there you are. That is what you're paying 48 points for. Doesn't look like a lot, does it? However, we will see how these play on the battlefield. Here's your unit leader. I really like this. These were, by the way, a doddle to put together, and they're very, very clean models. I don't think I'm going to be doing much of that before I'm ready to spray it. I can't see too many join lines. You can see the gap there, but I was just only applying a small amount of glue and pressure to put it together, just so I could display it for the sake of this video. So there's your unit leader. Here's one of your next troopers. Come on, camera, zoom. There we go, lovely. A nice dynamic pose. Looks like they're walking with purpose, arm out. Looking quite Xylon adjacent there for those who watched the reboot of BSG, what was probably 20 years ago now. There's me aging myself. And there's another one using the other arm, just so you've got quite a good range, but that's a bit more stock still. Let's have a look. There are other options. You've got your, other options. You've got your 4th trooper there. Another nice dynamic pose. Looks like he's coming down a hallway to break some clone heads open. And then we'll move on to our upgrade card. So just to go back, this was the Acm Trooper. So you can see he's got a bit of a bulky arm there. And if you can see that. Now, if I'm honest with you, I didn't like this model as much. I think the pose is a bit weird. It kind of looks like I don't know. He looks like he's sprinting. It doesn't look like he's coming down to come and attack people. But the model's nice again. Let's see if I can give you a view of the arm. I'm struggling to get the focus on there, unfortunately. But essentially, there we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? But the arm isn't the most obvious thing, so I think I'll be painting that up to make it clear that he's the heavy, because I wasn't entirely sure who he was at first. And anyway, next up we have got the B2 Hcm Trooper. Now this guy is very easy to tell that he's a heavy. He's there with his gosh darn hand cannon, to paraphrase from Pulp Fiction, and that guy looks like he means business. I like that as well. One thing I'm going to note here, and I don't know if this is the intention of FFG, but I think there'll be a lot of ability to swap the arms around on these, because I've got two boxes and I don't want them to look identical, so I'm going to be interchanging the arms. So we might have one of the guys who's standing up pointing out, we might have, you know, some of the other people who are doing something else, just interchanging the arms. I think there's an ability to move things around to make it a bit more dynamic and make them look a bit more unique. But in terms of how we're going to see them on tabletop, I think they're going to make a real solid addition to your standard B1s. I think they're going to be really nice to see on the table. I think they're going to be a doddle to paint. I don't see there being much to be done with them. And I've seen some excellent things out there where people have done them in a gunmetal grey and given them a null oil, and they've just looked really, really good. But then I've seen some great bronze ones which look really special. And also I've seen some people, and I'm sorry I don't know who you are to kind of credit you, but this panel here, they've coloured it and it looks so good, where the rest of it's just in a basic gunmetal grey or something, and then that's done in a plain red, blue, whatever. Whether or not you're doing that to distinguish squads or you're doing it to distinguish who the heavy weapon guys are, but it looks very, very good. Anyway, that is the video wrapping up. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like, subscribe. Thank you very much. And go and check out the Blame the Dice Wargaming Facebook page and Instagram. You will see all sorts of stuff going on there. Not just me waffling on about Star Wars Legion, though there will be plenty of that. There's an awful lot of 40k, Blood Bowl, Malifaux, Armada, X-Wing, all sorts. Go and check it out, please. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I hope you're staying safe at this time. Bye for now.